Welcome to Radio Boomers Live, the show about all things human from a baby boomer's perspective. All things hot and all things not. News, reviews, interviews, chat, tech, and what's next. And here are your hosts, Retha Gray from Betty White's Off Their Rockers and Easy's dad, Jim Zuley.
Good morning, Radio Boomers Live listeners all over the world. And good morning, Retha. Are you
Good morning,
this?
good morning, good morning.
Are you enjoying this tropical weather? I love it. Isn't it great?
It's very humid here in LA. It's normally not humid, but it's cooler, so I'm happy.
Yeah, and it's probably warm up north, but so much stuff going on. And I'll tell you what, we have a fluctuation, but it seems when you get into the 90s and, maybe a little over, that's a little warm for us. Because I think we're averaging 80 out here, 85, something like that. So,
yeah,
we should.
During the summer, it might get up to 85, 90, but it's been hotter. It's been 98 in LA and in the hundreds in the outlining counties. So.
Yeah, and then our Arizona neighbors in around Nevada, some of the areas, boy, they're talking about 115. I mean, 120 degrees. I think, how do people work in that kind of weather? From what I hear,
don't.
They go out in the morning. Yeah, no.
They don't. It was
Well,
120 something in Death Valley. I mean, just, why don't we just move to the sun? It's just.
And Ruth, we went up there one time, and they don't have phone connections in some of those areas. I was talking to a guy, and he said, no, he's a tech person in these certain specific areas around there in Nevada. They have no phone reception, unless in last year they changed that, but maybe with the 5G, I don't know. But that would be a little rustic. I mean, if you had an air conditioner go off or something. I mean, I don't know. It's too. I was from Chicago and it gets hot there, but this kind of stuff. What do you think, Reith? Global change or what's going on? Climate change or this is par for the course?
I think it's cyclical. It just goes in cycles because there were ice ages, there were lava ages, there were dinosaurs, there were all kinds of stuff. Things just go round and round and round. And speaking of things going round and round, how about that wall, that Easy Way wall? It's not going around. It's going up and out, and more people are getting on the wall. It's amazing.
It's just, I've seen things expand and explode and take off, but this is attracting people, and it is very innovative what he created. And I'll tell you what, the event coming up on the 26th, the virtual event, Golden Gala. I mean, Reith, it's a new world. I mean, you're with the text and everything, but this virtual and so on and so forth. This is new. It's never been done. And with that,
it's absolutely fascinating. Well, we got a promo for the wall.
Promo time, and then hot topics. And let's see if we
maybe we have a promo for a while.
You can. We'll sing a little promo. There we go.
Are you looking to accelerate your influence? EasyWayWall.com is a new site that allows you to promote yourself, business, brand, and your products as an influencer. You can share your ideas, receive comments, promote and brand yourself with the power of affiliation. Associate yourself and your brand with the power players of today to become leaders of tomorrow. Come and join the EasyWay Wall today. Sign up at wall.easywaybroadcasting.com or text EasyWayWall to 55678.
And now it's Hot Topic time.
Hot Topic. Let's see what's going on.
Ripped from the headlines. Today's Hot Topic. Well, today is actually Kobe Bryant Day, 8/24. Those were his two numbers for the 20 years that he played for the Lakers. He never played for any other team, and even if you're not a basketball fan, never saw a basketball game in your life, you know who Kobe Bryant is, and unfortunately, he passed away in helicopter crash the first part of the year, along with his daughter Gianna and other friends. And actually, the Los Angeles made 8/24 Kobe Bryant Day in 2016. But Orange County, which is where he lived, chimed in this year and also made it Kobe Bryant Day in Orange County. And I have to admit, I was not a basketball fan. I can't say that I actually watched a complete Laker game during the 20 years that he played. But I saw him grow up. I think he's like everybody that's over 50 feels like he's their child, because we saw him first come on the team and he was just a spoiled brat and wanted his way, and then he blossomed into this just wonderful player and a fine man, and he's definitely missed. And do you know that they have murals all over Southern California and really all over the world of Kobe Bryant that are Kobe Bryant tribute murals? You can go to @KobeMural on Instagram or KobeMural.com, the website, and they can tell you where all the different murals are. They have like 327 Kobe tribute murals around the world. I actually have one in my corner on, they just changed the name of my street. It's terrible. And I always, I forget it. But it's on the corner of Obama, which is the street they changed, Obama and La Cienega, right on the 7-Eleven, the side of the 7-Eleven. They have a mural of Kobe and Nipsey Hussle. So today is Kobe Bryant Day, and it's a time for remembrance and just, remember how he grew and was such a wonderful basketball player and human being, and he is just missed today. And what's your hot topic today, Jim?
Well, Ruth, we have unprecedented flames going across Northern California. Exhausted firefighters and evacuated residents wait for what looks to be a long fight up there. Hundreds of firefighters. You're talking about, it's at such a capacity, 600,000 acres. 6 people would pass away, probably more, and that was a day or two ago. I saw that figure. 115,000 forced to evacuate. Hundreds of lightning strikes, and they're looking at, because the fires are all over. There's hundreds of fires, and they're putting the cause because of the lightning strikes. And they're reaching out to Canada and Australia for help because the firefighters get exhausted after a while. 11 dead and hundreds, there's, literally hundreds of thousands without power as storms and tornadoes sweep across the U.S. Gulf Coast on alert as 2 tropical systems may strike together. Over 1,000 flights had to be canceled. Now, that when you have to think when you're going somewhere how this is going to affect your travels. And the rains and storms affected at least 7 East Coast states. Colleges worried about COVID-19. Students who disobey the no party rule may they may face the a little bit of issues here. It's real. They're skeptical about a lot of this. The kids don't know what to do, but they're looking at suspensions if they don't follow the guidelines. New CDC reports suggest that child care centers may be open in some areas, open safely where the virus is contained. If some of the states, if they have guidelines being matched, they're being met everywhere, and they match the government's guidelines, they allow them to open. If not, they can't, so they got to follow the rules. Cases surge in France, Italy, Germany, and Spain. In the U.S., a very bad summer is, it's slowly coming back. We're kind of pulling out of it, according to some of the statistics. A Putin critic flown to Germany for treatment as allies claimed he was poisoned. So he evidently, there was some issues. He was complaining, and all of a sudden he gets sick. So they're investigating what happened. House passes a $25 billion bill to boost the Postal Service. Postal Service needs a little bit of help here. Renomination of President Trump underway as the National Convention gets underway. A Detroit funeral home had a 20-year-old woman brought to them by the coroner, and preparations are underway. All of a sudden, surprise, the young lady woke up. So you got to check what's going on. Well, Kellyanne Conway, former President Trump, Kelly, we all know Kelly, super supporter of the president and advisor to him. She's stepping down because of family issues. She wants to tie the family together. And NASA unlocks the mystery of the Aurora. You remember the pearl necklace, Aurora Borealis, and the unusual lights you see. Well, I asked Retha, and she got the answer right away. I said, Retha, what's the deal? Well, she explained. They are the atmospheric promise made of back of light casual by charged solar particles, followed by the bands and the bandwidth of magnetic lines of force. I said, Retha, that's pretty good.
No, I knew no parts of that.
Interest rate's good, Reef. They're staying down, so if you're looking to buy a home for the first time or refinancing, now's the time. And we're looking at the low 3s and even the 2s. So there we go. And I'll tell you, these rates have never been this low, Reef. I mean, I paid 9% back in 77, you know.
Yeah. They're definitely good rates.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to throw in real quick. Kellyanne's husband also quit his job, so their family must, and their 15-year-old wants to be emancipated. So they've got a crisis.
Oh yeah.
You know, they've got a crisis. But that brings us to our commercial.
She basically told her husband, says, look, we have issues, and you know the kids come first, 4 children, so they had a little parlay, and that's what they came up with. So God bless them. All right, commercial time, and then we have our guest, Jeffrey Levine.
Looking to take the next step? Join the EasyWay Network and become part of our EasyWay family. Host your own TV show. Accelerate your viewership, as you will be seen on platforms such as Roku, Amazon, Apple. Brand yourself and affiliate yourself with celebrities, artists, influencers, and power players. For more information on how to start your own show, channel, or network, go to EasyWayPromotions.com. To stay updated on all our upcoming events, text EasyWay to 55678.
EasyWay Magazine is your best vehicle to advertise in if you would like to reach a quality database in corporate Hollywood. Not only will you read the stories and enjoy the content, you will also get to interact through social media and get to meet who's featured at the event, as well as get exclusive interviews from your favorite celebrities. EasyWay Magazine is a Los Angeles and Orange County-based magazine, but also reaches an international audience. Subscribe to EasyWay Magazine today by following EasyWay Broadcasting on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or EasyWayBroadcasting.com's website. To advertise, call 424-209-9290 or email contact@easywaybroadcasting.com. That's letter E and letter Z, because we don't do it the hard way. We do it the easy way. Welcome to EasyWayBroadcasting.com, your one-stop shop getaway to corporate Hollywood. EasyWay specializes in red carpets and will enhance your experience. EasyWayBroadcasting.com is top ranked on Alexa and houses the EasyWay TV Film On channel, podcast radio station, and EasyWay magazine. Learn more about the beautiful EasyWay Angels and follow their events calendar. For more information, visit EasyWayBroadcasting.com and click on About Us or call 424-209-9290. Don't forget to subscribe to the website and follow EasyWay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for amazing updates and opportunities. Remember, that's letter E and letter Z, because, well, we do it the easy way.
There we go. We do it the easy way, and Eric has been really building the EasyWay Empire Network and the virtual situations coming up. Well, unbelievable too. And we have a guest that you have no idea how important somebody like this is, because we do everything we do, and we want to have a secure future, and it just sometimes for a lot of boomers didn't work out right. And if you listen to somebody like Jeffrey Levine, you'll find out that there's a lot of mistakes that can be made and corrected, and you can move ahead and have a secure future. So Jeffrey Levine is our guest. Jeffrey, you on with us?
I am. I'm excited to be on the radio show.
There you are. Well, Jeff, this is Retha Gray on with us. Retha, Jeffrey, you know Jeffrey?
Welcome back, Jeffrey.
I'm
doing well, thank you.
Well, popular demand. Sorry, Jeff, we got to keep pestering you, but people want to know what's going on with Jeffrey Levine, and he's a wealth-building expert, guys, co-founder of Virtual TV, and what I say is the future is secure with Jeffrey, and I don't know how else to say it. And, you know, Jeff, this is a whole different world that's going on now, and I don't know how much you have to change in how you guide people through all this, but I wish we would have had you around 30 years ago, right, Reese? Yeah?
Absolutely.
Because people, you know, the boomers, Jeff, they're not as secure as they should be, right?
That is correct. It's always a challenge to save money when there's so many other people that want it. I mean,
boy, is that a good way of putting it?
Yeah, it's so easy to spend and so challenging to save. So what I tell people is before you get your hands on the money, you put it away. And I call it the automatic way. It goes along with the easy way. It's an easy way when you don't have the money and it's put away for you. I remember in my practice, people would come to me at retirement and say, how did I ever accumulate this money? They didn't even know they were doing it because it would come out of a paycheck. It would come out of a savings. They never saw it. When you never see it, you never miss it.
Boy, I've never heard it put that way. That's really good. I like that.
Yeah, because it's so easy. As my father used to say, you put money in your pocket, there's a hole there. You can't see it. But by the end of the day, every day when I put money in, by the end of the day, I never had it. So I think he was right.
And that statement you made about it's hard to say because there's so many people out there, and there's some very sharp people that want your money. And like if something is sold or they find out you have access to something, boy, they really come at you, huh? So your way to do it is you make a hole in the wall and you drop it in there and seal it up, plaster, and just forget it and don't touch it, right? Basically, you want to put it away where it's safe and sound.
Right. People don't even know that they're even doing it. And one of the best ways, if you work for a company and you have a retirement plan, that is a great way, especially when the company matches you. That is always funny.
That's amazing. I remember Sears used to do that, like almost 100%, but that was like 56? Yeah, about 55 years ago. People would say, "Oh yeah, my father's in Sears, and they match his retirement, so he puts in a." Wow, that's how does a company do that? They don't do it anymore, though, right?
Well, very few because it's expensive, and especially with COVID-19 and the pandemic.
Yeah.
Most companies are a little more challenged than they were last year at this time. And they have to watch what they're spending because we don't know how long this is going to last. And we don't know how long these companies are going to be affected by it. Yeah. So they have to be a little more careful. But there are
which one of these companies will survive the pandemic? They're dropping like flies out there, and I wonder, are all of these retirement accounts safe? Are they protected from bankruptcy?
Yeah, good question.
I believe they are because it's retirement accounts, especially 401k. You have your own specific account in your own name, so you should be fine. However, just because a company goes bankrupt doesn't mean they're going out of business.
Right.
Sometimes they can restructure their debt and can continue. You know, once we get through this, there will be a time when we will get through this that there'll be a pent-up demand for everything. I know people are not traveling, so as soon as things get better, they're going to want to travel. I mean, everybody is sort of stuck at home, and they can't wait to go somewhere because everybody canceled, for the most part, their vacation. And at the same time, they do have some credit. So it's much easier to go on a vacation in the future when you have a credit. So,
well, then a lot of times they're spending up the money that they got as a credit. I know I had a 10-day cruise planned, and I was very disappointed when it got canceled. And I don't know when I'll feel safe getting back on a ship again, so it might be a while.
Yeah.
Well, I think it will potentially be a while. And
cruise ship industries got hit hard. They have to sell ships. The cruise ship industries got hit real hard.
Because it's so simple. The reason is, you know, when you're on a cruise ship, you're so close to people, so it's almost impossible to stay 6 feet away. Safety, you don't even know who's going to be on the cruise ship and who they've seen or who they've met, so it's a little more challenging. But like every industry, they will come back because people like to travel on cruise ships. It's all included, and people like that, and it'll be back again.
And you know what? It'll be back. It'll be back strong because it's pent up. You know, it's pent up. People are so anxious to get out there, get their business going, get their restaurants going, get their travel, and just get out because this has been going on for a while now. And at least everybody got to spend time with their family for once because that was kind of fading out. And now they're home with everybody. And, I think that's going to happen. It's going to really, really take off.
I believe so also because, you know, when you cancel a vacation, you didn't forget that was a vacation you wanted to do. So down the road, when it is better, you're going to want to make that trip.
So okay, we're talking maybe 30, 35 to our listeners. Okay, you people out there that are 30, 35, 25, whatever, 40, they want to get something together because the money comes in, keeps going out. They want to have some kind of plan for when they're Retha's age and my age, they have a little something put away. What would you advise them to do? Maybe a savings account, maybe fool around with stocks a little bit, put away maybe a certain percent of their paycheck, and which direction should they go if they're starting out?
Well, I think there's a number of things, especially if they're working for a company and the company matches. That would be a great way to start because, again, they don't see the money. It's just taken from them. Yeah. And that's the magic. Now, if they don't have a company plan, they can set up a plan on their own. And there's a lot of different choices. There's mutual funds whereby you might buy stocks, you might buy bonds, but you want a diversified portfolio. Stocks aren't always going to go up. And they're doing well now. But as we've seen when COVID hit, they can drop very, very fast. So you want to have a number of different investments. And you want to do it on a monthly basis. And ideally, out of a savings account, you could build. So you need to first build up 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. That's called the emergency fund.
Right.
And the reason you want to do, the reason you want to do that is if you don't, and your car needs a repair and you don't have the money, what are you going to do? Go into debt.
You're stuck. Yeah.
You're stuck. So you always have to protect yourself first. That's number one. Have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. And after that, you can put money, especially if you're young. You have many years before you're going to need it down the road if it's for retirement. And what you want to do is put a little bit each month away, and I always call it $5 a day. And if you're 23 and you retire at 65 and you do the $5 a day and you earn, we're just going to use an assumption that you're in the stock market and earn 10% a year, that you will have over $1 million.
See, and you know what? That's the figure, because they said the average retiree made around $44,000 a year, and they're supposed to retire with 11 times that amount, which is $1 million. But like Rita asked you, now some of these situations you go through a big, with the economy and everything, and like in 08, people lost so much money. So is it better to have it maybe in another policy where it can't go down? You can't actually lose it. It's not as high of an interest rate, but it's more secure. Doesn't have it might not drop. You might not have that volatility. But then again, you're not making,
Well, there are policies, especially if you need life insurance, and there's a need today with the newer policies. You have policies out there that will protect you on the downside. You can't go below 0. And you can also gain on the upside.
Uh-huh.
So there's those kinds of policies that are out there. And this is newer. I mean, when I was doing financial planning in my old practice, we didn't have that. So there are ways to save where you don't have the risk of the stock market. You can do that with some annuities also. So the key here is find an advisor, because everything keeps changing, tax laws. When you have investments that are at all-time highs, you want to be careful before you go in. So I always suggest find an advisor, and I always set up a financial plan. What are your goals? What do you want to achieve? And then that plan will give you a guide of how to get there.
Yeah. That's
well, it's certainly not like the old days that we used to have the little bank book, and you'd go in and you'd take your dollar and they'd stamp it, and you knew your money was in the bank. But I looked at the interest that my money was drawing in the bank the other day, and I thought, wait a minute.
Forget it.
This isn't working.
No,
I
it's
going
going
backwards.
backwards.
As well just keep the money in the mattress, because you're not making it. So you definitely need a financial planner to help you out. So how would people get in touch with you, Jeffrey?
Well, real quick, Jeff, I want to just say congratulations from Rita and I on your nomination for the big Golden Gala that's coming up. Congratulations on that.
Well, thank you so much.
This is exciting.
Great, to be respected by other people. I'm in this field. I've been doing it well over 30 years, and it's all about the other people. It's not about me. It's about helping people have a better life.
Well, it's going to be about you during the nomination, because that's an honor, and you deserve it, because you have helped a lot of people. And another congratulations, co-founder of Virtuity TV. And
right.
Wow.
I'm excited about that, because we'll be talking finance, and we'll have some great experts on, and we'll be sharing tips of how people have been successful before. And by paying attention to these TV shows, you can learn tips that you would probably never hear before.
Oh yeah, and look at the just the figure you said with the $5 a day, what a difference it can make. But we'll be tuning in, and we'll be tuning in on the 26th on the nominations for Jeffrey Levine on the big award show coming up. The nomination. This is exciting. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on, Jeffrey.
And when's the TV going to be on? The TV show going to be on?
We're hopeful
for Tuity TV.
September. Yeah, doing it in September. And we don't know the exact date yet, but as soon as I know, other people will know.
All right, sounds good. Well, this is
right.
This is what it's all about, and a lot of us wish we had Jeffrey Levine 30 years ago.
Yeah, really.
Well,
people can get in touch with you because you're clearly on the Easy Way wall.
On the wall of fame. Yep.
Yes, I am. Another exciting thing for me.
Well, thank you again, Jeffrey, for coming on. This is the best of the best because this is really important stuff, and it's definitely a game changer. And you've changed a lot of. Well, you've secured some futures for people, and they're probably listening, going, "Yep, you got to listen to Jeff."
Well, I've been fortunate enough in my old firm that everybody retired with enough money. Nobody ever had to go back to work. There was never an issue. Because what we did is we did a financial plan, we set goals, and no matter what happened, we were able to get back on where we needed to go. Because just because you do a financial plan in the beginning, you need to sometimes adjust it because things happen, as we know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You don't know what's around the corner. If you want to give God a laugh, tell him your plans, we say. But we want to thank you for coming on again. It's time to roll along here. And, we just keep calling you back, Jeff, because you're in high demand. And people take notes, guys, and go back to the archive shows. Take notes when Jeffrey's giving you all this advice. This is important stuff.
It's an honor to be on. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
I love having Jeff on. He's the guy that's in the know about the future and retirement and everything. And with that, we're going to be moving into commercial and Carmelita's Corner.
Are you looking to accelerate your influence? EasyWayWall.com is a new site that allows you to promote yourself, business, brand, and your products as an influencer. You can share your ideas, receive comments, promote and brand yourself with the power of affiliation. Associate yourself and your brand with the power players of today to become leaders of tomorrow. Come and join the EasyWay Wall today. Sign up at wall.easywaybroadcasting.com or text EasyWayWall to 55678.
Welcome to EasyWayBroadcasting.com, your one-stop shop getaway to corporate Hollywood. EasyWay specializes in red carpets and will enhance your experience. EasyWayBroadcasting.com is top-ranked on Alexa and houses the EasyWay TV Film On channel, podcast radio station, and EasyWay magazine. Learn more about the beautiful EasyWay Angels and follow their events calendar. For more information, visit EasyWayBroadcasting.com and click on About Us or call 424-209-9290. Don't forget to subscribe to the website and follow EasyWay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for amazing updates and opportunities. Remember, that's letter E and letter Z, because, well, we do it the easy way.
And now it's time for Carmelita's Corner.
You are about to experience Carmelita's Corner. Carmelita's song Rosebud made it to the top 40s with the godfather of soul, James Brown. She's the founder of the Rose Breast Cancer Society. Now here's your host, Carmelita Pittman.
Well, hello there. How are you doing out there in Radio Land? And as usual, I feel grand. Oh, yeah, we made it another day. I have a wonderful guest, a dear friend from many years ago. His name is Jeff Selma, and he is no stranger to the music business, which is a mutual love that we share for music. He's been performing and playing drums professionally since he was 14. He organized his own band, recorded and opened for top R&B groups such as the O'Jays, the Manhattans, and most memorable experience as a member of the Mint Band, who opened and backed the Controllers. His career has led him on a journey across the United States. He currently owns Party Time Productions in Florida. And now, here is my guest and my friend, Jeff Selman. Welcome, Jeff.
Hey, what's up, Carmelita? How you doing?
Hey. I'm telling you, that's what it's all about. We made it another day, didn't we?
Another day. I'm telling you, that's great. That is so fantastic. You know, I want to first thank you so much for allowing me an opportunity to be on your show today, and also with Easy Way Productions. And congratulations to you for your being nominated for the Wall of Fame there.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is really an honor. I was one of the early birds along with Risa and her co-host, Jen Zugi, who is Eric's dad. And they are the originators here on the Radio Boomers Live show. And they invited me to come along, and I took a little slice, and they said, how'd you like to come on board with your little segment here? So here we are, Carmelita's Corner, and I've been going strong since 2016.
I know.
You're hanging in there. We're on the party train. You've got Party Productions, and I'm on the party train here with the Easy Way.
There you go. You got to stay busy. Stay busy.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of the Easy Way Wall of Fame, if you, or I hope you will, consider joining the Easy Way Wall of Fame. The first level is free, and you'd be amazed at the people that are already on the wall. And, you know, when you're on the wall, I'd like you to also look for the post that's got my picture where you can vote. I'm the Performer of the Year nominee, and there are some other great people on there who, whether I win or not, it's an honor just to have been nominated. So I hope you'll go and visit the EasyWayWallBroadcasting.com and then /vote for nominees and /. But I'll send that to you on your text on your phone, and
great.
That way you'll have a chance to check it out. You'll be amazed at how many people are involved. I mean, this is going to be a big deal, September 26th. There are many categories of, as you just heard, Jeffrey Levine. He's an amazing financial whiz, and he's also a producer, film producer.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, you'd be amazed who's on that wall. And, you and I, we had a chance to chit-chat for a little bit. I did give away some of your story, but I'm going to let you take it from here, Jeff, because you're good. You're good at leading the way. So take it away, Jeff. Tell us about how you got started in the music industry.
Hey, first of all, my father, the late, great Reverend J.S. Selma, Joseph Samuel Selma, was my number one influence. He was a big-time pastor and minister in Birmingham, Alabama. And he used to often do his sermons, and occasionally I would sing, and my mother would sing. And I used to love to hear the people during that time. We're talking in the early 60s and stuff. They didn't have all the keyboards, sophisticated musicians and instrumentation that they have now. People, they just had a piano player, and somebody would stomp their feet, clap their hands, and that was the beat that I always had in my head, as playing drums. that would never ever leave you. You know, that beat of the playing the piano and the people would stomp their feet, clap their hands. I mean, that was just so spiritual for me during that time. But as I grew older, I began to indulge in music, I guess, as a lot of young people did. James Brown, Jackie Wilson, Sam Cooke, those guys like that. But we had a lot of singers that came out of Birmingham as well. Eddie Kendrick's Temptations, Paul Williams, and Nat King Cole, which I got a chance to hear him perform as a kid. I think it was around 1964. He was at a house party, and I heard him performing, and it just stuck with me so much just to hear that much talent and ability to sing and sway the audience and like that, you know. But yeah, I was with the Controllers band. I think early on in my career, I had my own bands, and we did very well. We did all of the local shows in Birmingham, like the Hotsy Totsy Club, Blue Gardenia in Brighton, Pell City, 21 Citizen Club in Tuscaloosa. It was a great time to be a musician in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. There were some great musicians during that time that came from that era that are classics now. And I've had a privilege to know many of those groups and musicians over the I was one of the founding members of Bonnie Hilton Sweeney's pre-Grammy Music Industry Gala. And she had, you know, the real deal attending her shows. I mean, if she said Gladys Knight was going to show up at our party, Gladys Knight was there. If
Bonnie
she said James Brown was going to be there, he was there. I mean, you
Bonnie
know.
Sweeney. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We went through a roster of the greats, you know, Tina Marie and on and on. By the way, I have a funny story about Tina Marie.
Go ahead.
I mean, sometimes you can meet these people and not realize who they are. And many years ago, there was a popular place in Hollywood called Nikki Blair's. And I remember Morris Day was there. It was a little get-together, you know. Now, I recognized him off the bat for some reason, but I did not recognize Tina Marie. And I was trying to be seated at this particular location where she was sitting, and I didn't realize I had the nerve to ask her to move from her seat. I said, would you mind letting this seat go? Because I was trying to make some arrangements to make, you know, for whatever it was, reason I asked her. I can't even imagine now why I did. But she was so gracious. And then when they started, you know, making announcements and so forth, and then they said Tina Marie, and I was only a few feet away because I was near the front, and then she went up there, and I said, oh my God, that's the lady who I asked to give up her seat. Oh
hey, God. You know, it's really funny when you mention that, leaving Birmingham, and I'm gonna fast forward to being in California when I met you guys and Marvin Gaye and all those guys. I remember setting my drums up. And it gives you a check as to how good you are. I was setting my set up. We were going to go on tour with Tina Marie, and they were auditioning. And I was talking to the bass player, you know, and it makes you humble when you think you're really good. You talk to these guys, and they were setting up, and the guy said, yeah, man, I just came off tour with Miles Davis. This is the bass player now. He's auditioning with me and some other guys. And the other guy's like, yeah, man, I just came off tour, you know, with Rick James or whatever. And it makes you just really check yourself, you know, to see just how good you think you really are when you talk to musicians in California. So when you said Tina Marie, I thought about auditioning for going on the road with her back in, this must have been in the 80s or something like that, when she lived in the, what was that, right off, I can't think, called it Jungle back in those days. You remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You
she
know,
was an ordinary person. She just lived very humble.
She was so for real. And then I saw her at another time too, at a party at Helene's. At that time, I recognized her. But we spoke again, and you know, had a little laugh, probably about the first time we met. But she was so gracious, and what a talent! Oh my goodness, what a talent!
Yeah.
She could blow anybody off the stage. You know, remember when we had Pittman limousine service, my husband and I?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can't believe the roster when I go down the list of all of the people that have been in our limousine.
Red Fox.
Everybody, you know, you name them. Even Buzz Aldrin, one of the first people that walked the moon. But I remember the time that Jerry was a driver too, because you know we also collaborated with other companies. You know, if it was a big deal, like one time we had Rupert Murdoch, who took forever to pay us. By the way, somebody with all that money took forever to pay us. But we had Smokey Robinson. And at that particular time, it was the only gold limousine in town, the only gold limousine in town. And Smokey was on the show. Stevie Wonder, I think it was the same show with Stevie Wonder. My husband, he watched him from the stage, from the wings. And Tina Marie got out there. And, I mean, you know, you name them, all the biggest belters in the world, they were out there.
My God.
When Tina Marie, this little girl, I think she was from Greece. She wasn't that tall, wasn't that big, but her voice, oh, my goodness, she just blew them all away. She really did. Amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember those days, man. Jackson Limousine Service, Jerry, I call him the Godfather.
Oh,
he knows,
yeah, well,
man, I tell you.
We were one of the early limousine service, but you know it got to be a little bit hectic because you know me, Jeff. I've always been a multitasker, and you know, like a juggler. I had so many things going on. I never will forget the time that Bella Shaw, who was the young lady, beautiful redhead that Ted Turner brought out here to be on CNN. This was when CNN was first getting started. And I never will forget, Bella made such waves because she was demanding a certain color for her office to be painted. You know, I mean, she was playing a diva role, right? But she turned out to be one of the sweetest people I've ever met. We attended her wedding. She had a cowboy wedding out there. I'm trying to think of the place, way out there, someplace past Sylmar. And Jerry was the one that drove her car. She had one of those cars with the top down, and I think it was a T-Bird or something like that. But anyway, she was dressed, you know, as a bride and beautiful in her white outfit, and she was sitting on the top of the back, and Jerry was driving her to the meeting where her husband, who was on a horse, lifted her up out of the car and put her on the back of the horse, and they rode off to where the minister was, and that's where, and Jerry and I, we were all dressed up in our cowboy. I had my cowboy hat on and everything. It was a cowboy wedding. Can you believe it? With a barbecue and all that.
California. It was like California in the early days, you know, before. Yeah. It was a fun time. It was a fun time when you could really enjoy yourself. You know, I remember Jerry giving me a lot of the referrals. I drove a lot of the entertainers back in those days, and it was just a great time to be in the music, and people were having fun back in the days. I really enjoyed it, man. And I tell you, the story, I guess, the way I met you guys, I was a Sparkless delivery driver to water.
Water. I remember you met me through my mother.
Yeah, Miss Odine. She would often sit and we drink tea and we sit there and we laugh and we talk. It was just a little intervention from, you know, driving and delivering water in the hot sun during that time, and she would always welcome me in. And she said, you know, I've got a daughter that's really into music like you are, and I think that you should meet them. And that's how I met you guys. It's been over 40 years ago. And on that route, I had Marvin Gaye on that route. He lived on Gramercy Place. Yeah. And I would deliver water to his house, and we would sit out in the front porch, he and I, and sing, and it was just
Marvin Gaye was another person that was down to earth. I still have a photograph that I took with him. It's a shame that, you know, he left the world the way he did, but, you know, and by the way, that big house that they lived in right there on, I believe it was Arlington.
Gramercy.
Gramercy.
Oh, before. Yeah, Gramercy Place. Yeah.
Yeah, Gramercy Place. That was the one. When I was a little girl, that is the house I used to ride my skates and bicycle around the corner, because we lived, before they took the freeway, they had all those big mansions in Berkeley Square. It was really unfortunate the way that particular neighborhood was targeted to be, taken away so that they could build this freeway. But I mean, every time, I go through that part of town, I said if I ever had any grandchildren, I would say, well, this is where your grandma used to live. And they would say, you lived on the freeway?
Mayor Bradley lived up in that area.
Yes, he did, And they had those big, beautiful mansions. And I remember right down the corner from us there was one that was owned by a movie star. I don't remember who it was now because it's been so many years ago, but they had this big pool, and we used to go down there. There was a little girl who I used to play with. Of course, I was a little girl then too, but it was such a great time well, of course, there's always cons and pros about everything, because now looking back and not knowing, I risked privilege and didn't know it because when I grew up in that neighborhood, I just referred to them as pink people because they looked pink to me. I didn't know that. I didn't know that they were called white people. I didn't know.
You're a native in that area. I mean, that was really,
I was
another thing that nobody was ever. You found people; they were always from some transplants, but. It was great to be able to see that development during that time. I'm sure you go back a lot further than I did.
Well, I was actually born. I was actually born in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And so this is the only real place that I knew other than Sacramento, because we did live there for a little while, and it was so hot. I used to call my grandmother Bama. I would say, Bama, this is a sweat town. And I couldn't wait to get back to L.A.
But I tell you, man,
I love Los Angeles.
That was a long journey from Birmingham to Los Angeles for me. I mean, I came out there with my drums, and I made met a lot of good people out there through music and so forth and so on. I remember going up and down Sunset Strip, Hollywood Boulevard, playing the Troubadour. It was a big thing. Now,
the Troubadour! Oh my goodness! And do you remember Donny Hathaway?
Oh man, I remember Ollie Woodson.
Well, actually,
band, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say Donny Hathaway played at the Troubadour, and I went there. I remember to see him years ago when he was performing there. But we were very good friends. In fact, he sent for me when he was in New York, because I did this big painting of him. And I delivered the painting to him. I don't have any idea, who has that portrait. I've often wondered if Layla Hathaway might have it, but it was a big portrait that I did of him.
Yeah, you used to just totally do art, man. You were really, really great. I mean, those paintings are just, God, my goodness.
You bought one of my paintings, Jeff. This has been a long time ago.
I sure did. And and I kept it for as long as I could. I guess moving so much, sometimes things get some shoes made by Marvin, the ones Marvin Gaye had with the brogans, the silver ones.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. But by the way, you have, I remember when Jerry and I went to visit you in Florida, you have one of the most beautiful, big, amazing homes I've seen.
Oh,
and you had this, like a tractor. Your yard was so big you couldn't just mow the lawn. You had to get in this tractor and drive around to mow your lawn.
Well, I tell you,
it was amazing.
There's one thing when I lived in Birmingham, and I said thank you so much for that, too. And is when I wanted to swim. I used to love to swim. And they used to close the pools up back in the 60s, it was segregated and everything. But that's one thing that I said, when I got a home, I want to make sure I got a big backyard and a pool.
And you had your own, yes.
Oh, yeah, and I got my own pool, and I'm blessed so much. And I'm telling you, man,
yes,
you guys have to come back
yes.
and visit us after this COVID deal is gone, man. And Jerry and you guys, I just love you so much. I mean, I remember, and this is a true story, you guys have had some superstars to sleep at your house on your couch. I always make a joke about that. You remember? and I came out. My brother, he passed away, rest his soul, and I was just so honored. I didn't want to get a hotel. I wanted to sleep on that couch because everybody's famous in California.
We were honored to have you as our house guest because you're right. We have had some superstars that have been our house guests, and every now and then people, are down and out, and you want to give them a hand. But my husband says, well, if he thinks that the Pittman Hotel is closed now, we're going to have to, at some point, we have to figure out something else. But we've had a wonderful run here at our home. People that have been in the industry that have even come over for dinner, whatever. Ollie Woodson from the Temptations, one of the lead singers, he came over here and played our piano. He just had so much fun, and we just. But listen, when you're having fun, time does go.
Time goes
Jeff,
by. And thanks for everything, Carmelita. You guys invited me on the show. I really enjoyed it. I listen to it all the time, and I'm going to let everybody else know about it. That's in earshot is fantastic. The guest is always informative, and I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for being a guest, Jeff, and we'll talk soon.
Okay.
And we're going to get on our horse now and ride off in the sunset. And you can take your Ferrari if you like, but I'm going to get on the horse this time.
Always. That was a wonderful time with Carmelita and her guests, and it brought back memories to me. I grew up in that neighborhood, too. I grew up on St. Andrew's Place, and I remember Berkeley Square and the beautiful houses that were over there. I remember when they first built the 10 freeway, and my mother had a 1967 GTO. My brother and I talked her into buying it. She made the mistake of taking us to the car lot with her, and we convinced her she didn't need the Le Mans. She needed the GTO. And I remember driving 120 miles an hour down the 10 freeway when it stopped at Bundy. We were some wild kids back then. What can we say? And all of those artists, I remember the Troubadour, and what can I tell you? LA was a wonderful place to grow up. It has changed, but it was definitely a wonderful place to grow up in those times. But at any rate, the Easy Way Wall, go to E as the letter E, the letter Z, way, W-A-Y, wall.com, or you can text Easy Way to 55678. It's free to join. And you want to start voting. I'm not sure that the voting is open yet, but I know it's open soon. If it's not open yet, it's open soon. So you want to go in and vote for all of your favorite people. Vote for the people that you like to know. Vote for the people you do know. But definitely vote. Vote also in the real election, too. We're having the second convention now. Pay attention to what's going on at these conventions and vote. And I'm just going to do a quick Radio Boomers Live. That's what I'm doing is Radio Boomers Live. I'm going to do a quick tech time just to let you know that Zoom had some problems this morning. So if you had a Zoom call and you had some problems this morning, it wasn't you. It was Zoom. And when I come back next week, I'll talk about the difference between the devices of when you use your laptop or your phone or your tablet on Zoom, because there is a difference. But if you had a Zoom call this morning and it didn't work, it wasn't you. It was Zoom. Well, Jim had to step out. He's got some work and some construction going on at his house, and he had to go be the foreman that he is. So he told me to tell you goodbye for him. And I want to thank all of you for listening. Keep tuning in. We're here every morning, Monday morning at 10 a.m. Don't forget the gala is coming up. check out EasyWayWall.com to find out all about it. We'll be back next Monday morning, 10 a.m., bright and early. We look forward to having all of you join us. So that's it for today. See you next week. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Radio Boomers Live with your hosts, Aretha Gray, Star Betty White's Off Their Rockers, and Easy's dad, Jim Zuley. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Radio Boomers Live. Radio Boomers Live is brought to you by the Easy Way Broadcasting Network. That's the letter E, the letter Z, Broadcasting Network.